Don't give me a pardon. That's me winking for those listening to it on their phones.
I mean, not to dwell on this again, but it crossed my mind since we were talking about pardons and commutations today. Um, why do you think he didn't wait to do the Hunter pardon until after a move like this? We talked about this on a Tuesday show, and Tommy mentioned that he wanted to do the Hunter pardon before Hunter was sentenced. Though I guess I understand that. Though you could also make an argument that after Hunter was sentenced, perhaps commuting the sentence altogether would have been received better. Our old pal Anita Dunn, who's was one of the closest aides to Joe Biden for not just his presidency, but like much of his career. She said recently at a New York Times Dealbook event, when she was asked about the Hunter Biden pardon, I don't agree with the way it was done. I don't agree with the timing, and I don't agree, frankly, with the attack on our judicial system. The argument is one I think that many observers are concerned about. A president who ran to restore the rule of law, who has upheld the rule of law, who has really defended the rule of law, kind of saying, well, maybe not right now.
I thought a lot about how and why the White House did it this way. And I think it's pretty simple. I think it is we know all the people who work in the White House. They are very smart. They know exactly how shooting out the Hunter Biden pardon on its own before you pardon anyone else on a Sunday night at the end of Thanksgiving weekend is going to, before you jet off to Angola, is going to look.
Which is why I think most of them weren't involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, he called the White House and said, this is what we're doing.
That's what I'm saying. No, I mean, most of the very smart White House staff did not know until it was happening.
But they didn't know he'd made the decision to do it, but I'm sure there was a conversation on rollout, right? Yeah. And the president came back from Thanksgiving with his family, where they had a family meeting about this. Hunter was at that meeting. Hunter is staring down the barrel of going to prison soon. And the president makes a decision. He calls back and says, I made this decision. And then they have a choice. Do they just do it right away before it leaks? Or do they allow it to leak out there that he is thinking about it and then face a bunch of pressure? And so this is not how anyone would design it. I think this is how the process worked. And it takes a long time to get 1,300 commutations and pardons together. And that process was ongoing and not yet finished when he made this decision at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Look,
there's no plan that had it this way. It's just like, this is how life unfolded, and this was a family issue. And the one thing you always read in the reporting is, on family stuff, no one argues, Biden calls the shots. And that's how this was.
And I mean, I won't criticize it all over again. I already did. I will say that these pardons and commutations, they do make me feel better about the whole thing.
Yeah, of course,
I also think that if he, like I said, issues, these preemptive pardons and blanket pardons and makes them about sort of protecting people from political vengeance and retribution by Donald Trump,